What if you could clone your content creation brain and have it work for you 24/7? What if that clone could read industry news, write engaging posts, and schedule them across all your social media platforms without you even having to lift a finger? And what if I told you that system takes about 20 minutes to build in N8N, and it's so easy that even a beginner who's never done this before can do it without writing a single line of code and by just following the instructions in this video or inside our Skool community. The link is in the description. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how to build an AI agent that does all of your content research for you, fetches a blog post on autopilot, converts that into ready to publish tweets, and we are using Twitter here as an example, but in reality, you could use this for any social media platform. And without further ado, let's jump right in. In this workflow, you're going to learn how to monitor RSS feeds for new content. You're going to use AI to create a summary, and we're going to schedule posts, in this case, tweets, for social media platforms that we're just going to save in a Google Sheet for simplicity. So the new concepts you're going to learn in this video are what scheduled triggers are, data filtering and routing, working with external data sources, and using basic AI integration, in this case ChatGPT, for summaries. So if we follow the step-by-step instructions, step one is to set up the trigger. So I'm going to come into N8N, create a new workflow. I'll give this a name, say content Twitter system. And we are going to start by creating an RSS feed trigger. So if I come up here and click on the plus button and look for RSS feed trigger, just click that in. It's going to ask us for a feed URL. So in this case, say we are using this techcrunch.com feed. I'm going to paste that in here. And now this poll times that you see is basically like if you wanted this to be automated when you publish it, it would basically check this feed URL every minute. You could configure it for every hour, every day, and so on, so that it could really run on autopilot without you having to do anything. So once we have the feed trigger set up, we can set it up for every hour if we wanted to. So let me change that. You could even set this up for every day. And so if we say fetch test event, we will see that we've got this article in, and it shows you the time, which was 11th, 10th, 11th of October. And yeah, it's 11th of October. So this is a fairly recent article as well. And you can see what the article is about. And so as you can see, this is a scheduled trigger. It runs automatically at set intervals, unlike webhook triggers that wait for external requests. So now that we have our test event, we're going to go to step 2 and we're going to add a filter node. So if I come in here and add filter node, what we are going to do is check if our title contains words like AI or automation, because that's what we are interested in. So here, if I bring in the title and I say contains the word AI, and if I add a condition saying or if the same title contains a word like automation, then we want it to continue down one route. And if it doesn't contain any of these keywords, then basically, because like this is our niche of AI and automation, what we're interested in, for your case, it might be different. So you may have a different blog post URL and you may look for different keywords, right? But in this case, because we are an AI automation community and we're looking for articles based on AI and automation, that's why I've added these filters in. So if we are checking if the title basically contains the word AI or automation, then we want to like process it with AI. But if it doesn't, we just want to ignore it. So now if I run this step, you are going to see that it kept nothing, but on the discarded branch, it passed down all of this information. And so because our title does not contain the words AI or automation, basically this workflow would end here. But if it did contain the words AI or automation, we would then add an AI agent to then process what comes next, right? So to make sure that we have articles that include topics about AI and automation in our case, like this is the specific TechCrunch URL for artificial intelligence related articles. So if we come back in here and change our feed URL, and now we fetch our test event, like, can you see we've got a different article and it says why Deloitte is betting big on AI despite a $10 million refund? Because this feed URL is artificial intelligence specific, we are more likely to get AI results, and therefore our workflow would run from end to end with a higher probability. So in your case as well, like what you want to make sure is that the blog post or the feed that you are using contains the keywords or topics that you are going to be talking about. So now that we have our AI article, if we run this filter node, you can see that this article is now kept because it includes the word AI and it is not discarded, right? And just to demo the point I was making earlier, that if I removed this word, this to lowercase function, and I executed the step, can you see it has discarded it despite it containing the word AI? Because here the AI is in capitals, but we were only looking for AI in small. So that's why it doesn't work. So one way to do that is to use the to lowercase. Another way to do that is to add an option here and ignore case. So now if we ran this step, can you see that it's kept the article, right? So we will continue processing it. So these are two ways of handling it. And now if we come back to our Skool community, so next up, we're going to add our AI summary generation. If I come back into my workflow and I add an AI agent here, it's going to ask us for source for prompt. So this we are going to change to define below. We are going to change our user message prompt to summarize this article in 2 to 3 engaging sentences suitable for social media, especially Twitter. Include relevant hashtags, and we're going to give it the title, the content, and the link. Now, this prompt can be significantly improved, and that is completely up to you. And similarly, we can also repurpose this for Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform we were looking to use. The purpose of this is mainly just to show you how you can use an AI agent and a prompt to get, like, say, specific content for Twitter. And yep, so you can see we have the JSON.title, which is this value. We have the content snippet, and we also have the link in here. So you can paste this within curly brackets directly, or you can just drag these fields across as such, and you can use them like that. So once we have that set up, we're going to add our AI model. So if we come in here and click on chat model, for this example, we're using OpenAI. You will have to choose your credential to do that. If you haven't set up your credentials, you would have to create a new credential and add your API key in here. To give you a brief demo, if you come up to platform.openai.com/API keys, you would have to create a project in here, followed by creating a new secret key, give it a name. It will give you the secret key that you can just copy across and paste inside here. And you will also need to make sure that you have some amount of credits. The minimum amount is $5 inside your OpenAI account. So once we choose our credential to connect with, we will choose our model. You can just choose the GPT 4.1 model. It's sufficiently fast and not too expensive. Although if you wanted better quality outputs, you can probably use either the GPT-4 model or Claude or any of these other models. But yeah, so now that we have that set up, we've chosen our model, we've added our prompt in, we're going to execute this node to test it out. And yeah, like I mentioned, we've used Twitter in this case, but in reality, this could be done for any other social media platform. So if I just save this workflow and I click execute, you can see that it's received. Our RSS feed trigger has run. We've got our article. If we check our filter node, you can see that the item has been kept because it contains the word AI. And in our AI agent, this is the output that we get. Deloitte is doubling down on AI by rolling out Anthropic Claude to 500K employees, even after a 10 million refund over AI generated fake citations, shows the high risks and huge bets enterprises are making in the AI game. And it's included a few hashtags and the original article. So now that we have the output from our AI agent, I'm going to come back to our Skool community and go to step 4, which is formatting the social media post. So we're just going to clean up the data and make it look a little more presentable. So if I come in here and I click the set node, if we follow the instructions, we're going to select mode as manual mapping, which is set. We are going to add these fields in. So first we're going to have a post content. We're going to drag this output across, and we are also going to include this read more. Inside here, it shows red at the moment because it doesn't find that value. But if we come into our RSS feed trigger and just drag the link across, we have our entire output along with, we can see a preview of it, the read more and the original article. So once that is set up, we will next add the original title and the publish date. So if I come in here, click original title, go to our RSS feed trigger, drag title across, and if I come into publish date and include the pub date here, yep, we have our entire set fields node set up. And so a new concept to learn here is what data mapping is, and basically restructuring data from one format to another for our next and final step, where we will now take all of this data and insert it into our Google Sheet. Okay, so now that we have our data in here, if we come back to our Skool community, the last step is to just add this to our Google Sheet. So if I come up to Google Sheets, I've created the sheet already. I've just called it N8N Demo 2 Twitter Content Calendar. And all you need to do is create 3 columns with the date, post content, original title. And if we come back to our N8N automation, what we are now going to add is a Google Sheet. And we are going to say append, you can say append or update row and sheet. In this case, we're just going to choose append row and sheet. We're going to create a Google credential. I already have mine set up, but if you haven't, you just come in here, click create new credential, choose OAuth, and yeah, if you click the sign in with Google, it will take you to the Google sign in page, and yeah, you'll be good to go. It's pretty easy to set up. So it's going to choose resource, sheet within document, operation, append row, document from list. So what we're going to choose is our N8N Demo 2. This will get auto-populated once you've connected your Google account. Which sheet are we going to use is going to be sheet 1. Yep. And now, can you see how it automatically populates the columns that we have inside our Google Sheet of date, post content, and original title? So for the date field, and as you can see, we haven't run the previous nodes yet. So if we just click execute step, it will run all of the previous nodes. And currently it gives us this error we can just ignore for now. And here, if I drag in the publish date for the date column, if I drag in the post content for the post column, and if I drag in the title for the title column, and now click execute step, you can see it's running and there it's executed successfully. We can see our date, post content, and original title about Deloitte is doubling down on AI. You can see that we have our entire row here, which has the date, the post content, and the original title that was just added in. So, quick recap. In this video, we saw how to use an RSS feed trigger, fetch data every hour in a completely automated fashion. We would filter that data out based on looking at the title. If it contained keywords we're looking for, we can add as many conditions as we like. Then we fed that data to our AI agent connected to ChatGPT. We gave it a prompt. In this case, we wanted content for Twitter, but realistically, we could use it for any social media. Then we used an edit fields node to format our data and get it into this post content, original title, and publish date format. And then lastly, we just took that data and plugged it into our Google Sheet, which we could then see here. And this is our ready to publish tweet. And yeah, we could extend this for any other social media platform. But this was your AI agent for scraping data from a blog post or feed and giving you tweets out of it. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.